Yeah.
I swear, every single episode I get some technical difficulties. I just love it. Welcome to Vibe Osmosis. How you guys doing today?
Good. Good.
Tell me, what are you guys up to?
Nothing.
Yeah, right now we're just sitting in Josh's basement.
Yeah.
Um, I should just start saying everybody. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go ahead with some favorite fan questions, like your favorite color, and you go.
All right, I'll go first. My name's Ethan, and my favorite color is probably pink.
My name's Lee. My favorite color is probably black.
My favorite color is green.
That's a good one too. All right, favorite movies. Shout out.
Ah, favorite movies.
Uh, my favorite movie is definitely The Shining, but I also really like Inglor- Inglorious Bastards and Wally. What about you?
My favorite movie is probably Secret Life of Walter Mitty, the Ben Stiller one. Yeah.
Mine is Unbreakable, the M Night Shyamalan movie. I also love Everything Everywhere All at Once that came out this year. It's a great movie.
That is really good. I did get to catch that one. Astrological signs. Throw that out there, everybody.
I am. Oh my God, I am a Virgo.
What? What was? Oh,
Astrological.
oh, I Sagittarius.
Oh no.
What's the one for February?
Josh doesn't know.
Yeah.
Could be Pisces. I'm honestly, I'm like it's in your bag on February. Depends if you're late or if you're early.
20.
Oh. Well, I mean, I guess that also answers your question or my next question. If you guys actually follow astrology, if you guys think that if everybody thinks that it fits for them, how do you guys feel about that?
I don't know a single thing about like like oh like personal attributes or
Me
anything.
either.
Yeah, I have to echo that. I don't really know anything about astrology.
I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter as a kid, so
I relate to you on that one. I actually wasn't either for a long period of time. Like I remember getting in trouble because I watched it over at my uncle's on VHS, and my mom was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" So shout out to witchcraft and morphing our minds. How
amen.
long have everybody been making music together first?
Together? Well, we
A
started.
little bit over a year.
Yeah, just a little bit over a year. We started doing just covers, and then we kind of slowly started introducing original songs until we started like doing shows locally with them.
I want to tell you something. If you guys were from a different era and they told you to be up at the, um, like the Bowery or the CB or GB or like, something where they'd be like, no covers. Are you guys totally cool with doing just like original music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean most of usually only do like one cover now.
Well, you guys do a really great job. I've checked out your music. I checked out your live stuff on SoundCloud. I've heard from Fred that he's trying to work up, like recording some jams and songs and
Yeah.
a record. You guys want to talk a little bit about that process?
Yeah. So really it's very I don't know, it's a very just laid back thing, we don't really go to Fred's with like a specific plan in mind or like we don't have like a calendar or whatever. We kind of just go there like whatever songs we like are ready to work on, we just work on them. We don't have like an album order, like a song order for an album yet. We're kind of just recording all the songs we got until we feel like the album's ready.
Mhm. And Fred is really great with giving advice on what he thinks we should do with the songs too. So it's not just our opinions. He's also giving his insights too, and adding his yeah. And
Record. I give a lot of shout out to Fred and his music credibility and versatility. But also, I guess my own 2 cents with making this record. Really go in all the way. Don't try to leave anything like unsaid or uncovered. Um, I'm obviously really stoked to hear after like hearing some of the stuff on SoundCloud and checking you guys out live, like what is gonna be in the works. So also try to take other people's advice with a grain of salt, because what you're doing is the start of what you're trying to lay out for your bigger future, and that's a really big essential about like not turning off like your own selves to like what fits best for you too.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we have a few. We haven't exactly finished any yet. We have like 3 or 4 that we're working on, and some of them are almost done. Like we have one called Great Plains of the North that we're almost done with, but we're not sure what we're gonna do with that.
I think we just need to accept some of the like the bass
Yeah.
the bass track or something. So yeah, there's like a lot of those songs are like
Almost done.
yeah, they're like just about being done. Like we don't really get to see Fred super often, so
Yeah, he's a busy man.
yeah.
Aren't we all? I mean, I know personally, I did shout out, hey, if you guys are ever interested in recording, I'm fully interested in taking on that dive and project, and I feel the same way, I guess, about how Fred feels about like just trying to capture what needs to get out there in the best way possible. Which kind of seems a little bit what's going on from talking to him. How long has everybody been making music separately? Let's go into that.
All right, I'll go first. I've been writing songs.
And whenever you say I, also got to give your name just for the listeners.
Okay, you're right. Sorry. Ethan Ishmael. I've been writing songs probably since my freshman year of high school, when I like had a couple of years of experience with guitar. And I mean, those songs, they weren't really good. Like I kind of had to practice songwriting for a few years until I felt comfortable like sharing those songs. I kind of had to work at like writing lyrics and just like general song building and stuff. So I've been doing it for probably 4 or 5 years.
Lee I've been doing it since like I think 8th grade, when I first like got my first ukulele and started learning how to play like actual chords, and I started like writing super shitty 50s songs, and then and then like freshman year, me and Ethan started doing like funny little songs together that were not very good, but we thought they were awesome. Yeah. I've been doing it around the same time as Ethan, like 4 or 5 years. But yeah.
All right. I'm Josh. I'm the drummer. I've been playing the drums for, I want to say, 5 years now. My family got an electronic kit, and
did you get the Yamaha or did you get the Roland or the like?
it's a really old Roland kit, but it's like, yeah, it's like kind of high end, but it is old. So,
I had a
but
friend. He dedicated his electronic drum kit to like my music shed at the time, and it was a Yamaha DX or DTX or something, and that stuff shredded whenever you plug it up into a PA. You know,
mhm.
so the Roland ones I've seen sound incredible. So like even whenever you plug in your own headphones and you're just messing with the different pads, like it's a great jam, great time.
Mhm. Yeah,
Do you still
I love
have
it.
it?
Yeah, I do. Still play it. Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, I took lessons for a little bit, but I'm mostly self-taught. Just kind of taught myself by playing to what I wanted to play to, and yeah, and I've always like these guys. We only started doing stuff recently. I only started playing drums for them about a year ago. I don't know why we didn't do stuff sooner.
Yeah, we
For
don't.
for the music influences, Josh. Sorry. Explain or express some of those bands that you were getting into that got you into drums.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm really into the pop punk genre. I would say I really like Blink 182 and of course like Green Day, just classics like that. Those are my favorite songs to play to because they're so like they're usually like so fast, and I like the challenge of keeping up with the music. Also, like working on my fills and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Lee, you said that you started off trying to do some like 50s style type of guitar songs, which I feel like you can hear that in some of the other live songs that you guys have up on your
Yeah.
SoundCloud. Explain some of that early influence that got you into playing guitar.
Uh, well, so I didn't actually start playing guitar until like a few years ago. I played the ukulele all throughout high school, and like the the thing that got me into the ukulele was this 21 Pilots. But
Playing at the Metal Grounds in Chillicothe, they once came through. They also set up a show for Miss May I, who later on became, a really cool alternative rock band that switched up their sounds throughout the time. But 21 Pilots is a really great example of throughout all time and like the origins of their music, they've progressed and like expressed it in the music, and it's got them very far.
Hmm. They suck now.
yeah, they do. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, you're too nice. But I don't. Yeah, I really started uh because of them, and I was playing a lot of just really shitty covers of 50s songs, like Put Your Head on My Shoulder was really popular at the time. And I yeah, and like I was super sheltered as a kid, so I hung out with my grandma a lot, and she was always playing 50s music, so I was like kind of brought up it and loved it. So, so like when I first started writing music, my mom was like, you should have been born in a different time period.
The artist that I just had on the previous episode, they were a big fan of the Elvis stuff, and even growing up for me, I remember growing up like in elementary, and like whenever like I had like a little girlfriend or a fling or something, and like they broke my heart, like I would go home, put in my PlayStation like an Elvis CD that I had that just kind of
Uh-huh.
played like sweet sad
Yeah.
songs, but throughout the time, like those lyrics stuck with me because I was like, oh, that fifth song was a total bop. That teddy bear song, for me was really hitting. And it did, like, whenever I found out about like Pandora, I was like, it opened up the door for me to like, okay, I can play these different kind of radio stations where it's going to give me like this genre of music. Did you
Yeah.
guys did everybody ever go through that experience of just like messing with Pandora or Spotify and just trying to find like artists that like fit for you?
Uh, yeah. I mean, dude.
Yeah. Back to Ethan. I I actually discovered. I kind of had a similar experience. I discovered Pandora in middle school. When I was in middle school, and like my taste in music was much different back then. So but like through Pandora, I found I kind of like discovered my love for like it was I kind of honestly I kind of started by listening to kind of the same stuff as Lee, just kind of those like 2010s like pop bands. But through Pandora, ironically, I actually discovered a lot of like metalcore and like hard rock like outfits that I like really vibed with, and that was kind of like my first experience with like heavier music was just like through what my parents listened to and through like stuff I found on Pandora. And then once I got Spotify in high school, that was when, because like finding music on Spotify is so easy. Like it really opened my eyes to like just like not only like how many fucking like genres and artists there are out there, but like what like the limits of like what music like can be.
Yeah, I definitely say now for me, like I don't use Spotify anymore. But whenever I had like the premium, I was loading up like all of my friends' playlists, seeing what my cousins were listening to, seeing what my friends were listening to, and just like tap in and like add them to my own saved. And like even now, sometimes I'll still pull up Spotify and like take the dive on like the Discover Weeklies, and like I still listen to podcasts on Spotify. That's basically my main go-to. Um, does everybody have every like a favorite thing that they go to whenever they pull up their music streaming platform?
What do you mean?
Like a favorite, like, it's either like a podcast, or is it definitely music or a certain artist that you go to like every single time?
I mean, yeah, it kind of fluctuates. Because like I
Josh, Lee, what's your guys' input on this?
Lee, I'm Lee. Uh, uh, I I have this one jazz playlist that I made like my my like junior year, that I just always find myself going back to, like uh and it's not even that long, but I've been adding to it throughout like the years, and I've just always really loved it, and some of the songs on it are like some of my favorite jazz songs like ever. So yeah.
Hi, it's Josh. Yeah, so I actually only recently got Spotify in the past few months. I really like it. Before that, I had Apple Music, and I had a huge punk playlist of like every punk song I've ever enjoyed. And every time I got on Apple Music, I would just turn that on, like when I was driving. And it was good playlist, but it kind of kept me from like finding new music. And so now that I have Spotify, I've kind of every time I open the app, I like look for new stuff, like what it's recommending me, so that I can like broaden my horizons a little bit more. So yeah.
Does everybody have a favorite band? Let's go for that.
Oh shit. You go first.
Well, we'll start with me, Ethan, while the other guys think. My favorite band is definitely Ween, without a question. Right now,
I really am such a Ween fan, and like there's some times whenever I've played like little like open mics, and some people have come up to me, not even in Ohio, and be like, "I hear some Ween influence in you," And I'm like,
Definitely.
that's what's up. Like, do you also feel the Tool and like the other alternative, or do you like mostly just pick up like my psychedelia with like the Animal Collective esque feel? You know, so that's really really wild that you're also a Ween fan for me because like growing up I whenever I found out like Primus and like Ween was involved with South Park, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to check out their music because I didn't know anything about them. And then like, you know, it's been years now, you know, it's grown up with me in a
Right.
way. So I don't
Yeah. I can't get sick of them, and I'm sure my favorite artist will probably be different like a year or two from now. But like right now, I listen to Ween more than I've ever listened to any other band. I just love their not only like oh yeah, definitely like they it was just like Ween was like the first time that I found a band that like just like cared so little about like what other people thought. Like
They did their own
they
like
just make
actual.
whatever they want. Like a lot of like some of the songs like don't even really sound like songs. Like they're just noises, but like it's all just so cool and analog. What about what about you?
Josh, you go.
Yeah. Well, I like a lot of different bands, but I think the one that I always come back to for my favorite is Blink 182. I mean, they're just classic. Travis Barker and his drumming is like he's one of my biggest inspirations. I love his like very showy, kind of like bombastic style of drumming, and yeah, I always love uh just listening to that when I put on Blink, listening to his drumming and like focusing on it and taking cues from it. Yeah. So yeah, I love Blink 182. I also love Jeff Rosenstock. He's a great artist. His album No Dream I always come back to. Um, yeah, I
Uh,
would say
fun. Hold on. Fun little fact about Blink 182. Back whenever I was like in the second grade, and my friend took me out to the Columbus Crew Stadium, Blink 182 happened to play like their halftime show.
oh nice. Oh,
If you think about it now, like that band would never probably do like a Columbus like Crew Stadium type of gig for
yeah,
like a halftime thing now, but like in the past it's just like it was so of the time and like it was fresh and new for me. And that was one of like my exposures to that band of like being like, okay, like yeah, I've seen you on MTV and TV, but now like I don't know, like you're actually in my backyard in a way. It just like felt
yeah,
at home. So it has been one of those bands for me where it's grown with me on throughout time as well. Very
right.
very interesting to see. I was wondering if are you guys is everybody a fan of Green Day or are you guys exit that band?
Yeah, I love Green Day. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I like Green Day. I never really got into them,
They have some really
but
good
like
stuff about masturbation. I'm just a fan of.
No, I grew up on Green Day. That was what my mom loves to listen to when I was growing up.
Also, so does everybody have a favorite instrument?
oh shit. Okay. It's Lee. I don't know. My favorite instrument is probably either the piano or the electric guitar.
Lee, you also have to cut in on some of your favorite artists.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I was trying. So right now, I think Well, the artist I listen to the most is Nirvana, and I feel like
Shout out to my old band, Breakfast at the Zoo, and my friend's band Trevor Rose, who's in the band Sun Puddle. They are prime example of Nirvana. We moved out to Seattle, just to kind of make things happen, and then
yeah, so I really just really fucking love Nirvana. Um, but I really love like their early shit, like Bleach. I love that album. Um,
way through. It's unskippable album for me.
yeah.
Have you ever been? I actually been inside Kurt Cobain's house. I broke inside
Oh,
with an ex. And we just whenever I was living out in Seattle, we just went by the Danny Blaine. Have you ever been out in Seattle? Have you been ever to
I
Kurt's?
haven't gotten to. I really would love to.
All right, so we all must plan a show out in Seattle and make the trip out to Denny Blaine. It's a nude beach. He lived right on the nude beach. It's right in front of his house, and you also get to go to the Kurt Cobain like memorial park where they have
Oh
like his, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and the bridge too, right? Yeah, yeah. But like my biggest influence is probably Queen. Like I just grew up like with them being my favorite band, and like I grew up thinking that they were like the best rock band of all time, and yeah, they are. um,
Do you have like a favorite song of theirs?
right now it's either in the lap of God, in the lap of the gods, or the White Queen. I
My,
really,
I'm a
really,
big fan for sure.
yeah. I like in my dorm. I had a huge fucking poster of Freddie Mercury above my bed. Uh, so that yeah, they're my biggest. I think they're my favorite band. Like the Night of the Opera was the first album that I bought on vinyl, and I just listened to it over and over and over and over again. And I like still remember the first time listening to it. Like I will never forget that first time listening to it. So it was yeah.
And Lee, did you happen to say that your favorite instrument was the love for the ukulele, or did we get there yet?
Uh, I said it was either electric guitar or the piano,
Or the
but
piano?
it would.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so I can feel you on the piano because the piano once you get your hands on it and once you even making your own sounds if you don't know what the keys are, it's still very enjoyable even for you to take the dive on making your own music if that's like your vibe and feel. I
Hmm.
feel like on a piano, on a real piano, grand piano, there's no mistakes making even without the sustain pedal.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I want to bring back to Ethan. Was your actual favorite instrument the guitar, or was it something else whenever you were diving into making music?
My favorite instrument has always been the electric guitar, even before I could play it. Like I loved how it sounded. I loved how yeah, and I mean it's just so versatile. You can do whatever you want with it essentially. And yeah, I don't think my favorite instrument is ever gonna change.
Do you guys have a great memory you'd like to share between everybody?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? Like music really?
Last year, I think it was in like February or March or something. We all went to Cleveland together, but without any parents. It was just us, and we got to stay in a hotel, just us. And
Oh yeah. All right. So for the listeners, shout out how old you guys are.
I just turned 20.
Yeah, Lee just turned 20.
Lee just turned 20.
Ethan, me just turned 19 in September.
I'm Josh. I'm 18.
But basically, one thing that I will never forget is we all went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame together, and there was like this garage room where bands could play, and we were like, hey, we are a band, could we like jam together in here? And they gave us all the stuff we needed, and we started playing the only song we knew at the time, Prepare to Meet Thy God. And then after we were done jamming on that a bit, the guy like opened up the garage door, so like it was open to everyone else in the museum or in that area, and they were like, play that song for everyone. So we played like a really long version of Prepare to Meet Thy God. Yeah, no, nobody recorded it.
Sorry, that would have been totally me.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, do you have a favorite memory you'd like to share?
I was actually just thinking the exact same trip. The Cleveland, so much fun. Yeah, my favorite part of that trip though is one night we just like walked around the city by ourselves and just went into a whole bunch of different shops and stuff, kind of like just scoping the place out, and it was a lot of fun.
And there were like huge snow piles.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great time. It was it's a great bonding experience. All right.
Ethan, did you want to add on to that?
I mean, yeah, obviously I really enjoyed that experience a lot, but the memory that I was thinking of was the first time that we like all played together as a band, which was when we were doing all covers at our high school on Spirit Day. We like for all 4 years of high school, I don't think we ever participated in any of the sports that were available. We always just kind of sat around. And so senior year, we asked the principal if we could play songs like while people played sports. And he said yes, because he was a really, really cool guy. And so like we played like eight or nine, like just like covers of like songs that we liked.
That's really rad.
And that was like the first time that we had like all played together in front of an audience.
We exist because of that.
Yeah, that was
exist because of that.
That was like the good soup birth.
Yeah.
For a shout out about, since we're talking about high school days, for me and my friend Matt Herr, for our high school music review, we tried out, we got the part, and we got to get the gig basically. So we got to play one song, and the one song could be up to 5 minutes long. And all we have done throughout high school was just ditch class, smoke weed, drink, do drugs, and play music, and get in trouble, have our parents, ground us from hanging out from each other because we were just getting high and playing music. So we later on, finally got to connect and get on the high school music review, and we got together and we jammed out and we made like one song for it. And we were like, all right, do you think you can remember that? And yeah, so we found out that the high school music review was like 2 or 3 nights. So it was 3 nights of getting up there and trying to recapture the same song. Or 2 nights of, I can't remember exactly if it was 2 or 3. But so we, the first night was just great. We got up there and just nailed it. I feel like, just got really stoned before we went up there. And the second night, I remember I was like having technical difficulties with the effect pedal, and having technical difficulties with the synthesizer being plugged in correctly. I think we were just too high. Uh, and like I remember by the time I was like singing in the middle of the song, they just cut out my audio. They were just like, okay, no more singing part because like it's just way too affected or it's coming in too hot or something. And like finally the synthesizer got kicked in, and they were like, oh, we'll make up for it by bringing in the synthesizer. Whenever you guys were playing in high school, did you guys did everybody have like a good sound guy to make you guys sound all right, or you just bring up your own amps?
I mean, honestly, like I feel like we were the sound guys for like anytime we like had to do stuff like that. And on Spirit Day, we were just playing outside, so we kind of just like we had Lee's brother like stand really far away, and we just like sound checked doing that and just kind of adjusted accordingly.
I remember like one of the nights my friend came up to me and was like, "You guys sounded really, really good," and I was like, "Damn, I thought that the sound guy was like fucking us the entire damn time. Like, fuck these kids. Like, we're gonna make them sound terrible. Like, man." So, also, I have I guess a fan favorite question of mine. The recording process, do you guys like have a certain way of like how you make songs? Is it like the lyrics first, guitar first, you have this bass line, like how does it work?
Hi, it's Lee. So usually what I do, or recently, is I get really high and I just start messing around on my guitar until I find like uh, a riff or something I like, or chord progressions, and then I just play that a shit ton, and then I start like humming a melody or something, and then once I have the melody figured out, I come up with like bullshit words, and then once I like the words, then I record a demo, and then I bring it to the guys, and we figure out how to play it at practice. Process. Yeah, that's it.
Were you asking about recording or like writing songs?
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the way we did that one, obviously we're doing it differently. Can I still talk? So like we do it differently now with Fred, but the way we did Prepare to Meet Thy God was we took a video of us playing it in the garage, and then Josh busted out the electric kit and recorded drums over that video audio, and then he passed that to me, Ethan, and then I recorded my electric guitar parts onto my laptop in GarageBand over like the drums and stuff, and kind of made the instrumental track. And then we all got together at Josh's house in his basement and recorded vocals. And yeah, that's kind of like how we were recording songs for a long time. There's like a couple other songs that kind of suck that we recorded like that, but I think Prepare to Meet Thy God turned out pretty well, considering that none of us really have any like music production experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we're doing with Fred now. Is like we've done a couple songs live, or like we kind of have recorded them live. I think that would be fun though to do a session sometime in Dayton. That's not really something that any of us have really like given much thought of though.
We don't have the money.
Well,
yeah, we can't.
Well, between three, you see, you set up a show. Between three, you gather the money from that show, and then you contribute your own money, and you get into a studio to book like $100 to play for an hour or something. Just crank out like 1 or 2 songs live, maybe 3 tracks if you're lucky, but just see how they get that audio. I feel like that's like an essential thing to just kind of see like what you guys sound like. It's always a fun dive. I feel like for an artist to do that. Have you guys ever had any fears personally?
Fears? Like as an artist or just in general? I don't know. I think that I get scared that people won't be able to like relate to my songs because the lyrics don't necessarily make any sense. That's one thing I get scared of.
Josh, do you have any?
Scary movies.
Scary movies?
Yeah.
I'm afraid of heights. That's about it. I don't really have any like band related fears necessarily. I think I'm pretty comfortable with where we're at right now. Yeah.
Never
I'll hand it over to
stay
you.
too comfortable is what they say.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ethan. I think the only thing that I'm really afraid of is just like how the album is gonna turn out, because I kind of like, I don't know, I'm scared that like my expectation is like too large or something. I don't know. I'm worried about how it'll turn out. I just hope that we can, like, between the three of us, we can all like capture like what we're like imagining in our heads, like what it'll look like, if that makes sense. Other than that, I don't really have.
Did this band have any current projects lined up? Sorry.
Did you say projects?
Yeah.
The only show we have booked right now is we're going to play at Blind Rage Records again on January 2nd with a really cool band. I don't know where they're from, but they're called Naaman Naaman.
I haven't heard of that one. And I didn't even hear about the show. You guys post about it yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on Gwen, the owner of the shop, to make the flyer.
Shut up, Blind Rage.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. All right. Honestly, for real, the Blind Rage shows, I feel like are an essential to the scene and a revival of like this COVID energy too. I feel like a lot of the shows, like whenever we get artists in, there's a lot in each show that's like essential for the live scene, especially if you're seeking out live shows. Like it's one of those things like you can't miss out on, and whenever you miss out on, you're definitely missing out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always the other way around, because like I feel like we're so young compared to all the people we interact with and play with, that like it's always other people giving us advice. But I mean, if if I had to share any advice, it would definitely be to just like, if you're making music or like any art at all, just like don't listen to anybody that like whose like opinion, like I don't really think that anybody's opinion really matters when you're making art. Like you should just kind of make what you want to make, like regardless of what other people are gonna think of it.
Rather it's good or bad.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter.
So it's Lee. I think my advice that I would give is like never be too afraid to like express yourself and express how you're feeling, and like never be afraid to show the world how you're really feeling and the way you act or dress or anything. Yeah.
Hey, it's Josh. My biggest advice, I guess, especially when you're in a band, is just to. I found it's a lot more fun when you just kind of loosen up and enjoy it. Like, don't be overly concerned with the details or like your image or anything like that. You just gotta have fun with it. You know, you gotta savor each show. You gotta appreciate the smaller moments together. Yeah, I I found that being in the band is a lot more fun when I take a step back and do that. Yeah.
Um, Now I guess here's the time for the wild, you know, question. What songs would you recommend for playing after this?
What?
Could you?
Oh,
Oh man.
can we do a Christmas one?
Only if it's George Michael.
Don't do a Christmas one.
Okay.
We have to give a song recommendation.
Uh, let me think.
A song I've been obsessed with recently is Hot Metal Dobermans by Brainiac. I think that would be my suggestion. I listen to that like every single day. Do you guys have any?
Yeah, I've got one.
I got one too.
A song that I've been like really obsessed with for the past year. This is Josh, by the way. Is a song called Chaser by a band called the FUs. They're a band from Nashville, hard rock band from Nashville that we've seen. We watched them play at a store called Three Feather Records, and we played with them. We went back there and we played a show with them for the store's first anniversary. And they are, since seeing them, they've become one of my favorite bands. And I know these guys love them too. Just like one of the best live shows I've ever seen in person. And the song is brilliant. And yeah, that's my recommendation. Chaser by the FUs.
Lee here. I think that I don't know. One song that I do find myself listening to a lot recently is Cornish Acid.
The WebEx open house is that leaders today.
Yeah. Shout outs, like artists. Let me. Oh wait, would that be cringe? I've been listening to Loving Machine by TV Girl a lot. I like that song.
All right, so then a little curveball question before we wrap things up. Is there a favorite artist that you've seen live?
Oh,
I've seen live. I think my favorite live show that I've ever seen in my life was when I saw Ghost in the Pit just a couple months ago. They're really. Oh yeah, for sure. Like you could pull like almost any song off of like any record except for the second one, and it'll probably be a great song. They're a great band.
Um, Lee here. I think that my favorite one that I've been to recently is we had a Halloween show. That's with Scheller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we played a Halloween show with a band called Scheller in this guy's Sean's basement, and it was just they put on a really great show, and I really loved their set. And at the end of their set, they did killing in the name, and the lead singer didn't want to sing it, so he had people like in the in the audience come up and sing it, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
all right. Josh here. I think my favorite live show that I've ever seen was from a band called the Antibodies. They're Detroit. Yeah, they're a Detroit punk band. They were actually the first band that we ever played with. Our very first show. It was at Blind Rage. They came down and played. We opened for them. And recently they came back up to Columbus. They played at Dirty Dungarees. And we decided we'd go see them. And that was like the most fun show I've ever been to. Like they're a great band. They have such good energy, and their songs are so good and catchy. And everyone was like moshing, and it was like shaking the entire room. Basically, it was a fantastic show, and they're a fantastic band. And yeah.
Also the show that we played with you at that school.
That was a really cool venue.
That was that was like an awesome show for me.
Yeah, that was a really fun time, no doubt.
Yeah.
I actually look forward to coming out to more shows out there. I really hope that they keep bringing out some of the heat, and hopefully another Good Soup show, or maybe we could do like a revival in 1 year or something. That'd be rad.
Yeah.
For sure.
Free beer included on that one again.
Yeah, we would definitely love to play with Spirit Navigator again.
Yeah, Mike, I've been only planning far stretch shows, so it has been kind of hard getting local people to kind of commit to it. So like I really do appreciate Fred taking on like I threw him out like different dates and different places, and he was like, "Yeah, I can do the Chicago show." And I'm like, "All right, great, man. Like I really need that."
Yeah, I wish we could have been there.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna keep Good Soup out if we can get something, I guess, in the vicinity. That'd be nice.
For sure.
I guess welcome to Vibe Osmosis. Thank you guys for joining the show, and really it's been sweet, and I really appreciate you guys' music. And I've always wanted to kind of expose more about what you guys do. In this show, I'll be able to kind of show more about what you guys do from your SoundCloud. But if you guys have any songs that you have that you'd like to send over to like specifically share, just hit me up. Any last notes before I end it?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, it's been awesome. All right,
you too.
Thank you.
See ya.